Okay, so today I'm going to be showing you the Water Abyss teams and tell you which one's the easiest. I'm going to go from the easiest to the hardest, and the easiest one is actually the Radioactive Desert, and luckily this is the one that you want to farm the most as well, because the Converting Crystals is the ones you want the most of. I'm not going to be explaining what all these do, because otherwise this video will be like 15 minutes long, and I've recorded this video over 10 times, and I just didn't like it, so I have to re-record it a bunch of times. And I am using a few 5 stars, but I will be telling you guys some different options. So let's just start with the Radiator. This is the team. The one thing that is not optional, at least with this type of team, is the Gunslinger. The Gunslinger needs to be in this team, and he doesn't need to have skill ups on skill 3 for this dungeon, but the other two you do. So you do obviously want skill ups on him, and if you have an option between skilling up him or the Fire Gunslinger, this one is better with skill ups and everything. So skill ups went up before the fire one as well. And obviously there's the War Nurses here, and if you do not have the War Nurse, and then you're gonna either have to have cooldown reduction effect. So you get more turn cycling for the Gunslinger to get his skill 3 up more often. The best one is the Water Ghost Captain, because he does have an attack leader skill as well. But I also have this one, which if you don't have one that has a good damage leader skill, you're just gonna have to have the Occult Girl's HP lead, and then put the Occult Girl in the back row, because this boss specifically, because this boss will stun one of your front row, and if your Occult Girl doesn't go and put her buffs up, sometimes the Gunslinger doesn't do enough damage. So you do want her in the back row, so she's not the one that gets getting stunned. And also, you're not going to be able to have as much luck, because right with this luck slot 2, with the War Nurse, I can put a luck slot 2 and be just fine. But if I don't have the War Nurse, I am going to have to swap this slot 2 for a damaged piece of gear and get a lot more crit damage, a lot more attack. But since I do have the War Nurse, I can go for 300% luck as well. And you also want to want an attack percent on her as well. And now I'll tell you the turn order. The turn order, you want him or the Occult Girl to go first. Doesn't really matter which, but as long as they're both going before the Gunslinger. The Occult Girl AI, you want her to always be using skill 3 when available, skill 2 only when if an ally is low, just in case for a failsafe. The Clockwork, skill 3 every single time. Skill 2 doesn't really matter. It'll do some damage when it does, but he doesn't really do a lot of damage versus a water unit, you know? And then the Gunslinger is going to be go and clearing the boss wave. And then since the War Nurse passive boosts herself, and she'll be going putting a defense break on the damage phase. And if she doesn't, then she will go and put a defense break on the damage phase as well. And with her AI, you can either have it turned off like I do to save some energy, or you can have it turned on and always have skill 2 to do more damage, or turn it off to always get the defense break from skill 1. But for me, I decided to turn it off just to save a little energy, and it doesn't really matter that much. Skill 2 will do more damage, so I just left it like that. And since I have the War Nurse that's doing the defense break, I don't really need her to be doing the defense break, so it doesn't really matter. And then after, the very last is going to be the Turtle Tank. The Turtle Tank would just decrease all their cooldowns of all the skills on the team. So the Gunslinger will be getting skill 3 up faster and killing the boss faster. And now I'll just show you guys the run and explain it as it's going. Boss goes, stuns. The Occult Girl is stunned, so it's hopefully the Gunslinger will do enough damage here. Doesn't quite, but the War Nurse will go. Doesn't quite do enough damage as well. But the Gunslinger will go and do some extra damage. So the Occult Girl, if the Occult Girl went, then the Gunslinger would be doing enough damage there. But whenever she gets stunned like that, sometimes the Gunslinger doesn't actually kill. And with this phase, the takedown bar, this yellow bar, you want to kill this all the way, because it'll skip the yellow phase. See how it just skipped that yellow boss phase? You can skip the whole boss phase and go straight to the next damage phase. Okay, so we cleared the boss just fine. And with these bosses, to be able to get triple S, the minimum damage you need to do is 4 million, because I've gotten 3.9 mil and only a double S. Double S is still good, but you do want to try to be going for the 4 million to get the best rewards from the boss. So this boss's gimmick is basically just whatever's gonna be in the front row might be stunned. So if you want to, you can swap these two out these two with each other. Have the Occult Girl in the back row so she doesn't get stunned, so she can use her skill 3. And then the War Nurse, just if she's in the front row, she'll die a lot more often, so make sure she is tankier. I just have her built for damage, so I think she did like 500,000 damage for that phase. But that's this boss's gimmick. But like you just saw, even if the Occult Girl gets stunned, even if the Gunslinger doesn't kill the first wave, as soon as it gets to there, the run still runs just fine. So it doesn't really matter that much. Now the next easiest is the Sea of Decay. This one, the gimmick is that there's a bunch of AoE monsters. You have to do an AoE damage dealer. So for me, I have Dr. Evil, but if you don't have Dr. Evil, just replace him with Wind Bookworm. But I have this one built for the boxing club, so I don't want him. So he's not built for this dungeon, and my Dr. Evil has the luck rate on slot 2. And if you have whichever one you have, by the way, you want AI, whatever AoE skill it has, 2 or more enemies alive, because you don't want to be using them except when there's a ton of units, you know. Also for Dr. Evil, his skill 1 will do more damage than skill 2 or 3 to the boss specifically, so you don't even want him to use skill 2 or 3 unless there's a bunch of minions everywhere anyways. And that's this whole gimmick. It's basically the same thing. Make sure the whatever guy does AoE is going before Gunslinger. And if you have War Nurse, the War Nurse also boosts the attack bar of the Gunslinger, which for me, if these two are really, if the Gunslinger and the whatever AoE unit you have are really close speed wise, sometimes the War Nurse will boost the Gunslinger's attack bar over the AoE unit, so then the AoE unit's not going before clearing the wave, and then the Gunslinger will go, and then you won't be able to kill because this guy's not fast enough. So if you do have the War Nurse, make sure you have at least 9. I was like 6, I think, above faster with my Dr. Evil, and then the Gunslinger was just going before during the 3rd wave. So if that's happening, make sure your AoE unit is faster. And same thing with War Nurse. If you don't have no War Nurse, same thing. Whatever guys decrease cooldown for your Gunslinger. But I have this team built, so this is what I'm going to be showing you guys, and just show you the run. Yep, just goes above, AoE, clear the wave. He goes, puts some buffs up for and then he clears the first wave, just like the other one. And then War Nurse goes and defense breaks. And the other times, make sure you have a defense break as well. My defense break is a War Nurse. The Water Pirate Captain has the defense break, so he will work as well. But this is what I have. Let me just speed up until it clears. And this phase is what I was talking about, by the way. Sometimes the War Nurse will boost the Gunslinger up faster than the AoE unit on that phase. So if that's the case, make your AoE unit a bit faster. And same thing with this one, make sure you have enough to hit 4 million. I have a lot less on this one because I have to have this Dr. Evil in here instead of my Sharpshooter. And the Sharpshooter does about 1 million damage, the difference in damage basically. And with this one, if they're all blue, sell, don't even worry about it. It costs too much gold to even worry about it. So that is this team. And now is the garbage jungle, which you may think, why is that? It's because his shield does a lot of damage, and there's two areas where your team can get wiped if you're not doing enough damage. And I'll just show you the run because it's the same team as the first one I showed you. And I might lose here, but if I'm actually gonna be farming this, I'll show you what I'm gonna be doing. But basically, where the 2 fail phase times you're gonna fail is, see how he didn't clear the shield? If I might actually just die here. Will I die? Nope, I'm fine. But if you're on the 3rd wave and it takes too long to kill that shield, when that shield goes down, it'll go and wipe your whole team. That's the first fail position. Okay, yeah. For this 3rd phase, the biggest failsafe is times you would fail is when the shield goes up and the Gunslinger does not have his skill. Since he has it, oh, he did not do a lot of damage there. Since he didn't do a lot of damage, whenever this shield goes down, I might get completely wiped. Let's see. Oh, didn't get wiped, luckily. But see this attack right there where it says 16? If it gets to that, it'll also do a huge AoE damage as well. And if it gets to that, he does AoE damage and wipes the whole team. So with this boss, it's a huge damage check, because even though I'm way over the 4 million required, the shield takes so much. There's two damage spots where you might just get your entire team wiped. So if that's happening for you like it is for me, sometimes he does clear just fine. He clears the shield, he clears the damage just fine. But sometimes he doesn't. So in those cases, I do have to go and swap a damage piece onto the gunslinger and an attack piece on my sharpshooter. The reason why I'm dying is because I'm not doing enough damage, so because I have too much, so I'm not going to be able to do as much luck with this specific boss if I want it to be consistent. So this is the thing I'm just going to have to do. Alright, now we're in third phase. And since I have a lot more damage on my team, this shield that's going to be coming up shouldn't be that bad. But sometimes it is still. Hopefully he doesn't have it. I might get wiped here because he didn't have it right away. Let's see. Okay, he goes, third skill. Okay, doesn't matter. Key killed. Yeah, so with these bosses like this, with this specific boss, yeah, it's a huge damage check. I'm like 1.2 million over the damage I need, but as you saw before, my team will get wiped if I don't clear him fast enough or the shield fast enough. There's 2 times where this boss will just wipe your whole team, so you do need a lot of attack. So for me, I have to just swap his slot 2 from luck rate to attack percent, so no more 300% luck on 100% teams. And I think even this team, sometimes they'll get unlucky and the shield will wipe you. I'm pretty sure. I think I've seen that happen once or twice, even with this type of team. But even with 250% luck, as you saw, I'm still picking from a lot of different pieces of reforging potions. Oh, and same thing with this one, Water Ghost Captain. Water Ghost Captain here specifically because you need as much attack and damage as possible, because this is just a huge damage check. Obviously the War Nurse is helping me a lot here, so if you don't have her, this boss will be a bit harder. And now I'll show you the team for the Mental Fortress. Okay, so now I'm going to show you guys the Metal Fortress team, and I do have these 5 stars here, but I'll show you more options that you can replace these 5 stars with. But this is the team so far. It took me a long time, a long time to make this team, because this team is very stat hungry. I could not get a ton of luck, at least for the starting team, but this boss is very inconsistent. I don't think there's a 100% team out there just because of this second head. It can apply this fear, and if it hits your gunslinger and kills your gunslinger, you lose. You can't win with just 5 supports. So this team is not 100% consistent. I don't think you can get a 100% consistent team on this. It's varied. There's so many variances in this boss that I don't think you can. But this is the team I would recommend to you guys. This is the style of team I would recommend you guys go for. Basically, and the main things that took me the longest to figure out is that she is my immunity, and she needs to be at minimum, that speed right there, needs to be at least 251, I'm pretty sure. That is the minimum speed that you need on her, or else the boss will go and then it paralyze your whole team and slow down your whole team, attack break before your immunity even goes up. And then if he's attack broken or paralyzed, he won't do enough damage to even remotely kill the first wave. So that's also why I have 2 immunity units in here. This one can very easily be replaced by this one. This guy is does the exact same thing essentially. It removes 2 debuffs on all allies. Actually, this one's not quite the same because it removes 2 instead of all, but it removes debuffs and then puts immunity up. That is all she is doing. But her AI is, I want her skill 2 to be on high, because this guy is also my immunity. She just doesn't quite give enough immunity, so I needed another immunity unit. So I want her to use her skill 2, and then use her skill 2 again because these two decrease the cooldowns. And then I want her to use her put immunity up, which you'll see in the run. Basically, how the run goes is these two just don't die. That's all they do. They just don't die. The occult dancer goes, no, the run goes, she goes, puts immunity up and speed buff and attack buff for the boss. And then she goes, puts shield up and healing over time for more buffs for this guy to go and then do a ton of damage. And then she will go with just her skill 2. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what the skill 2 is. She won't stun if she defense breaks, neat, but it does not need to happen because she's fire. She's not going to hit it. Oh, and if you have him instead, by the way, you would want the same thing. You would want this on high and this on all. So this is what you would want. You don't want him to be using skill 2 when you already have immunity from this skill. I'll show you the replacements for her as well. I just don't have one built at all. So these 4 go, and then this one goes before this one because his skill 3 can be decreased cooldown by him, but his skill 2 cannot be affected. Like this ability cannot be affected by cooldown modifying effects, but this one can. So you want him to be going before the engineer robot. And I have the HP lead because that's really all I have with this team. Unless you want fire one, but that's dumb. I'll show you, I'll show you the run. When we're talking, I'll just show you the run. Warner's goes before the boss, puts immunity up. And then she puts more buffs on. He goes, clears the first wave. Great. I still have immunity, so we're all good. And I already have immunity, so I don't need her to go up again. So she will just use skill 2. Didn't defense break, doesn't matter. He'll go decrease cooldowns on both of them. Put more attack buff on. Gunslinger does not have his skill yet because the War Nurse is so much faster. And if you see that she went skill 2 again because they decreased the cooldowns. The Gunslinger should have her skill up now. And she will go, Occult Girl will go put more buffs, clear this wave again. I don't have immunity. So sometimes he'll get paralyzed or attack broken. But this Fire Finger Girl will cleanse. That's the only thing that matters. Good thing his fear went up on her. She's the worst one to put. She's the best one for the fear to go up on. Now I have attack buff. So now I'm just waiting for the Gunslinger to get his skill 3 up. And these 2 in the front row will decrease his cooldowns enough to be able to do it. So it should be good. Alright. Colger goes. He goes. Clears the wave again. Beautiful. And this other side, just super tanky, doesn't matter. So if that fear went up on him, he would die. He would die and then would lose a run. And if you have this giant, you want to put some zeal with immunity on him for the first turn at least, because if his passive will decrease so much more HP. He'll survive a lot longer with just that. So I would recommend that. And this side, by the way, does not, like if this side had some Inspire gear on, it would not increase the damage of your Gunslinger. And this HP leader skill also doesn't help this side, and this one doesn't help this side. They don't help each other. They're like 2 separate teams fighting the same boss. So they don't help each other, except that if this team dies, this guy would go and just do a ton of damage to this side, which then you would die. And now I'm going to show you the replacements for War Nurse as well. Oh, and same thing with this engineer robot. If you don't have him, or you would rather build, oh, I have him out already, another unit that decreases cooldowns, AoE decreases cooldowns specifically, you can. But I basically had skills for him, so that's who I chose. But replacements for the War Nurse, basically you need attack buff and you need immunity. So that's the replacements. So this guy I think is the only replacement option, I'm pretty sure, because everything else, these boosts itself. This one has 2 different skills that do it. The only option for the War Nurse replacement is the engineer robot, but you would for sure need a 6-star him, by the way. I think everything in that team, this team has to be 6-starred just because how much stat hungry it is. And that's the team. But honestly, it's not 100% and it costs like 10 energy per run. So I'm not even gonna farm it. Like it's not worth farming just because this fear, if it hits your Gunslinger, you lose. Sometimes the gunslinger, this extra damage just doesn't kill the first wave or the second wave in the right time, and you just lose again. And this runs are varied so much. In a 10 run, I lost once, and then the next 10 run, I lost like 5 times. And it's such a huge waste of energy, and it drops, and it still drops. Like if you look at inventory, modifier, amplify, it still drops uncommon pieces. And like if you get uncommon, it's just like, okay, that was a waste. Like I just don't like this dungeon right now. So I don't want to farm it. Like I just don't want to farm this just because it's not worth farming, in my opinion. I would rather just farm for more gear or farm for any of these. That would be better. Oh, and by the way, these teams are not beginner friendly because they need a lot of gear requirements. So obviously, if you've been playing for a week, you don't have enough gear, you don't have enough units, don't have enough skill ups. Just wait for a while, just keep farming boxing club or another dungeon if you prefer until you have enough gear to clear these, and then eventually you'll be able to clear the metal fortress. But if you guys learned anything from this video, like, subscribe. I will be doing a lot more videos on Fission, so see you in the next one.